What if a single book can take you on an unforgettable journey,
From the icy Himalayas to the tropical islands.
unraveling the mystery of love, loss, and longing? Well, that's exactly what today's book of discussion does. I'm going to talk about this very beautiful book by Shubhangi Swaroop, Latitudes of Longing. Straight from the get go, from the cover, you can understand that this is going to be a book that is based on India's very varied landscape, from the Himalayas to the sea, from the east to the west. These stories span all throughout India, and it also has a very strong backdrop of the environmental condition and the geographical location these stories are based on. I haven't read a book like this in a longest time because I don't see these parameters being accounted in someone's cultures and thought process of the protagonist of the characters that these books are talking about. So certainly
This is a special one of a kind book on Indian literature that you certainly must pick up. And let's dive into the video in a little bit, and I'm going to convince you by the end of the video
why you should finally pick up this book if you haven't already.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Pooja at A Book by the Window. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are reading good. As is the drill here, if you're a new subscriber who just happened to stumble upon my channel, by sheer luck, you are in for a treat. I'm going to welcome you with a lot of warm love and a safe space to talk about books today. And I'm pretty sure after watching a few videos of mine, I'm going to convince you to finally subscribe to the channel. And
To those who are already an old subscriber and look forward to my videos every single week, I welcome you back. I'm so humbled by your love and support. I read all of your comments, all the recommendations, and
I'm trying to improve on my channel, but also trying to get it monetized. So each one of you's input is very important to me. And when I'm making these videos, I finally feel like
the dream of that little girl to talk about books is getting fulfilled.
I have all of you to thank for that. With that out of the way, let's get into today's video. And by the end of it, if you liked the video, please make sure you like it, comment down below, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to the channel. Let's grab a cup of tea, grab a cup of coffee, whatever is your poison, and let's talk about this very beautiful book, Latitudes of a Longing by Shubhangi Swaroop.
This is a poetic and mesmerizing debut novel by Shubhangi Swaroop
That absolutely left me floored by the end of it.
It is a book that has a very unique theme of highlighting humanity's connection to its environment, to the earth, and to each other as a community, as a species, with a tinge of magical realism that is sure to take your breath away.
This is again a kind of book that lingers with you long after you have read it, especially for its very lyrical prose and its deeper understanding of human emotions other than just what scratches the surface.
How we interact with our environment, with the nature as well. Now imagine a book that feels like a story and more of an exploration of existence, both human and natural.
That's what Latitudes of a Longing is, a masterpiece that covers vast landscapes,
time periods, and emotional depths.
It is divided into 4 distinct sections,
each exploring a different aspect
of human emotions and the world around us.
This is a novel that cannot simply be categorized into one. It is a mix of magical realism and mysticism, creating a world
where the boundary between the real and the supernatural is blurred. The book is going to draw you with its lush description of the nature
and its deeply philosophical exploration of life. We are going to move to the section where we talk about the plot of the book without giving a lot of spoilers. Let me scratch the surface about what these stories are.
The story begins in the foothills of Himalayas,
focusing on Girija Prasad and his wife Chanda Devi, who has very clairvoyant ability. Their relationship is fascinating and it sets the tone for the mystical realism that shines through the book. As we move through the novel, the stories span through different times and geography, from the Andaman Islands to the earthquake-prone fault lines of Nepal, and even sometimes into the future. In one particularly striking part,
we meet a woman who communicates with trees,
embodying the connection between humans and the natural world.
Each section is titled Islands, Fault Lines, Valleys, and Oceans.
Reveals another layer of interconnectedness between people, places, and the planet. These transitions are smooth yet profound, creating a tapestry of stories that are as individual as they are interwoven. Now let's talk about the major themes in The Latitude of Longing.
Number one, the theme of interconnectedness. The novel is all about connection.
Whether it's between humans and nature or across time itself, there's a sense of everything is linked.
And the stories explore these links in very deeply moving ways.
Number two is magical realism and nature.
The author Shubhangi Swaroop's ability to interweave the magic with the real is truly a masterpiece in writing, and it makes you feel something from within in a way that is beyond your existence as a human in itself.
The natural world is portrayed as a living, breathing entity, and it creates a sense of wonder. To me, it had a personal impact where I'm able to detach my selfishness and the need for survival as a human from being one with the nature. It is always well worth your time when you read novels like these,
which makes you look at a different perspective about your own survival and existence on this planet. It gives your existence a meaning or purpose in a way.
Number three is the theme of science and spirituality. This is another key theme.
It's remarkable how Shubhangi handles it.
You have very scientific minds grappling with some things that do not have a logic or do not have a reason yet, like Chanda Devi's clairvoyance or the communication that this lady is being able to do with trees. What is the reason behind that? Can there be a scientific reason behind these phenomena?
There is this delicate balance between rationality
and the mystical that makes this novel so unique.
In themes of writing style, Shubhangi Swaroop writing style is very lush
and vivid. It is poetic
without being overly dense,
and it paints the kind of landscape that makes you feel like you are standing right in that forest
or on that island or on that mountain. You get the gist. You will want to pause after every page, just trying to take in the beauty of the different landscape that is being presented to you through words, through writing, sure, but you are transported to a different world. The characters make up for such a backbone of this novel. They're very well drawn, they feel like real people, and this could be anyone's story, not just some fictional characters in a book. The first couple that we meet set the tone for the novel with their relationship, one grounded in reality yet touched with a tinge of metaphysical. Across the novel, we meet a geologist, a mother mourning the loss of a child, and others who are in some way or other finding and searching for the connection that their body and mind and soul needs, whether it's with nature, with others, or with themselves. One of the most moving aspects of the novel is how Shubhangi Swaroop makes you feel so intensely for all of these characters. Each character seems to be yearning for something that they cannot quite grasp in the moment, but they are very hopeful. They are in this quest, they are on this search for meaning, and that is what makes this novel, the characters and the writing feel so relatable. For me, when I read this book, it wasn't just a book, it was an experience in itself. You know, there are certain kind of books you don't read for arriving at a happy ending or a climax. You just read it for understanding good writing, understanding the nuances of life, understanding your own emotions, and take back home something. So as a personal reflection, this book brought to me, and what was so unique is I could understand that sometimes the answers that we so often overlook or we are searching for them in the wrong places are deeply rooted in the nature around us, and we do not give it enough due credit. So in that regard, I clearly remember reading this book and feeling that it's okay to be one with nature, not fight your destiny, not fight the making of your body and the circumstances in which things are made, because it is what it is nature. The emotional impact, I will have to agree that the emotional impact of this book is very profound. It is one of those rare books that make you feel and think about your own place in the world and the connections that you so often see, whether it is between lovers or even the relationship that you have with yourself, that you own with yourself, is worth taking a pause and reflecting on. The way Shubhangi Swaroop writes about time, it makes you think about the story that we also carry within ourselves across generations and landscapes. One of the most impressive aspects about the book is how Shubhangi Swaroop brings all of these places to life. Her description about the various landscape, about the places that these stories are set, whether it be the snowy capped mountains, the Himalayas, to the tropical forest, almost feel very vivid and cinematic. You can feel the air, you can hear the sounds, and see the vibrant color of each setting. The way Shubhangi Swaroop writes about Earth, it almost feels like a love letter and just giving back the well-deserved love our nature deserves. The natural world in this novel is not just a backdrop, it is a character, it is a living, breathing entity. And I haven't read a book like this, I'll be honest with you, which describes nature in that regard, being one with us as much as we are one with the nature around us. So would I recommend Latitudes of Longing? 100% yes. I am adding this book in the series of books that you must read from Indian literature, and this one is going to be one of my top picks. Why? Because it talks about the landscape of India in a very non-judgmental and in a very difference in opinions, but we being one as a nation. And I think it is the need of the hour to understand and respect various cultural and geographical differences that living in this country comes with. So why am I not going to recommend a book that so beautifully describes those differences and creates a space for respect for everyone? Please, if you can, get yourself this book. If you find it boring, read it very slowly, but by the end of it, I'm pretty sure you're gonna respect all different differences that we have in our geography, but also how our living and how our emotions are shaped around the geography that we are brought up in or we are born in. But there is nothing wrong in that. All of us are equal and all of us belongs to the same land, and all of us must feel proud about this land in its essence and respect the nature around us. In the end, it is about that. When I first read this book, I gave it a 4.5 stars out of 5. This rating doesn't mean as much as the review and the actual thoughts that I jotted down in the review just a minute before. And if you're someone who want to just have a sweeping rating, then this is going to be it. If not, just pick this one up based on the recommendation, based on the various points that I just presented to you. I made my case, I feel here, and I'm going to leave you, I'm going to add on to my case with a little quote from the book. In the end, it is longing that makes us human, not the answers. We are at the end of this review. Make sure you like the video, share this video with the friends and family you feel you want to recommend this book to. Comment down below if you've already read this book or you want to add this one to your list of books to read. I'm also going to point to my affiliate link in the description box below. So if you're thinking of buying this book, you can support me, you can support the channel while I'm not monetized by clicking on that link. I'll get a portion of that commission. If not, if you want to buy from someplace else, do that too. I only want you to read this book. With that said, we are at the end of this video. I would also remind you, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to it. And I will leave you guys for now. We're gonna meet next week, same place, same time, probably not same place. I will have to leave this home very soon, but I'll make sure I bring up these videos. I come up with these videos every single week without a fail. I have been very consistent with my videos. I finally found out a system, I feel. And with that said, I'm also having a lot of fun being able to connect with my community, having the time, finding the time to be able to make these videos, edit them and present them to the best of my capabilities. What do you know, with time, this channel, it will have a different, not the face, but it can have any shape. It might advance to something I never imagined. I particularly enjoy just keeping things simple, and the initial phase where you have a lot of scope to fail, where you have a lot of scope to connect with only a few folks. So I am certainly enjoying that phase. And if you're someone who are connected to me in the initiation, in the initial phase, I would always place you so high in my community. I would always appreciate it so much more. With that said, with that thought, I'm going to take a leave for today. I will see you guys next time. Until then, happy reading.